What's up, guys? Today I just wanted to talk about my recent stop motion with the little Lego me and break down a few things that I did to design him. So I designed him on a program called Brick Studio, which I found pretty recently, and it is a lot like the 3D softwares that you might have heard of before, kind of a Rhino Blender kind of option, but just for Legos. So you can pick through all the Legos that exist and even the ones that don't exist in colors that you can't actually get. But it was a really awesome tool, and I started out with actually an Iron Man set to kind of base this off of to start with. It was a little bit of a challenge. There was a lot of things to go through and change. To start with, I had to change all of the colors basically in this whole thing. I picked colors that did not exist, so something to think about when you are designing your own Legos, that some of the colors in the program for certain pieces, if you want like a yellow in this specific piece, it might not exist because it might not have been made in a Lego set. So, be aware of that while you're designing your own stuff, but all of the pieces based off of their own colors cost different amounts. And so you got to be aware of that. So I changed up a lot of things to make them a lot cheaper because it can get very expensive if you don't pay attention to that. So when I was designing this Lego man of myself, not only did I want to capture things that I wear, hoodies and Adidas pants with the stripes on the side, and a hat, but I wanted to make sure that while I'm animating him, that there were options available that he can, move freely, that I can really animate him and make him look a little bit more lifelike, but also different specific pieces that I chose to put in that I could alter in a non-traditional way of Lego. So for instance, the first one can spin around, so if I want it to be in the front and have a front-facing cap, then we can be front-facing cap, fellas. But if I want to do facial expressions, that was one of the biggest things that I was hoping to make sure that this stop motion didn't lack, just because it was Lego and not claymation or traditional 2D animation. So I got pieces for like the eyebrows that I can put on one stud, and the back of them has no pieces that make it not allowed to move, so I can shift his eyebrows and make him, however I want. I can make him whatever emotion. I can kind of drag him around and, go extreme with it. But yeah, I can move his eyebrows around a lot. So that's a big one that added a lot of emotion to the piece. Another one would be simply just the smile, the mouth. I can take this piece off in the same way as the eyebrows, and I can make him smile, I can make him frown, I can do whatever I want, and I also have additional pieces. So I have additional pieces that are like a bigger smile, a smaller smile, which might be kind of hard to see since these are small little Lego pieces, but a smaller one, and then I even have the same sort of shape as the eyebrows. So if I want him to be more of like a talking or surprised kind of look, I can shove that onto the face. And then similarly with the eyes, I have little pieces that I can put in and replace. I've made it so all of them can pop in and out. Another important thing with animation is the eyes, blinking, emotion. Of course, we talked briefly about the eyebrows moving and the mouth moving, but the eyes are, a huge part of what makes a character come to life. So I also got pieces that are similar to the white of the eyes, but in the tan, so that I can put them over the top of them, replace them, or just even in the animation, I kind of just set them there most of the time because it's quicker. And that way he can blink, he can wink, he can do whatever. And then I also have a piece that covers the actual eye, so I can do different steps in each shot. So one of them is half blinking, which I can also do as an emotion for like boredom or sadness of some sort. And then I can close his eyes completely as well. So I kind of was thinking through the design in ways that I could animate and ways that I can change emotion and bring this character to life. I also have to have a lot of range of motion for this character. I will admit that it could have had a lot better of a range of motion, but you know what? We got the job done, and that's what matters. For instance, I have these fingers that I can bend all as one finger, and then each of these pieces, which are semi-delicate to the piece, can bend a little bit further to try and enhance the curl. You can see that at the end of the stop motion when I'm having his hand kind of crawl towards the mouse. So yeah, that helped a lot, and of course he bends in most other normal joint ways, especially since I was able to kind of start off with that Iron Man set as a precursor to what I wanted to do. So all of his joints move around, his hips can go all the way 360 and back around, and yeah, it allowed me to have quite the range of motion. And for the bottom, you know, it's Lego, and I was animating on plastic surfaces, pianos and desks and stuff like that. And so I actually used sticky tack on the feet and different other moments to kind of keep him still in place, especially so I could avoid extra rigging so that I didn't have to edit it all in post every single time and take even longer. And that worked out really well, especially because his James Harden based basketball shoes are kind of black and white already, and the white sticky tack makes it seem like it belongs. So it doesn't. I didn't think it was too distracting, and I also have a little bit of a hole on the bottom that was a foothold for just a regular 1x2 piece that I could stick in. So when he was taking steps, sometimes I could shove that into place if he wasn't holding his foot up in the air by himself without toppling over. And that way I can place him down on the ground, and maybe the camera isn't gonna see that, or I would just have to do a simple edit instead of having him fall. The last thing I would consider is with the range of motion, what kind of actions are you going to be doing if you're making a stop motion, or if you want him to just be a posable figure that you're going to make for yourself. For instance, I have ankle movement that goes side to side, which is good, but most of the time I actually needed it to go front to back more, and this is about as much as I could get, which is not very much. So if I were to change something, I would try and change the design to flip it that way, but I had already designed it and didn't think that one through and bought it and everything. So, you know, maybe next time. But all in all, I think that it's important to figure out what parts are going to be moving the most and what direction they need to be moving the most, and using bigger joints if they're going to be holding a lot of weight. I started out with a smaller joint on the head that I just had to replace because his head kept falling off over and over and over, and it still is heavy enough that it falls over occasionally, but with the thicker joint in the neck, definitely helped out a lot. Well, that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments about anything else with this process, especially after watching the animation, let me know. And yeah, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.